Today we'll be talking about surface area. And surface area is when you have a three-dimensional figure, like a cube or a rectangular prism or a sphere, and you get the area of all the faces of the three-dimensional solid. And basically, you need to figure out what shapes form this solid, and then try to figure out the area of each one of those shapes. Now, a sphere is a special case because we can't really break it into any polygons, but the surface area of a sphere is just 4 times pi r squared. So for the rectangular prism, there's 6 faces that are created here. There's the ones on the left and the right, which are the same. There is the top and the bottom. And then finally, there's the front and the back. So let's start with the left and the right. Remember, there's 2 of them. So we have the area is just 6 times 5, which hopefully is pretty easy to see in this one right here, where this is 6, that's 5. So that will just be, of course, 30 square centimeters. Now remember, there's 2 of them, so the red faces are 60 square centimeters. So for the green ones, the front and the back, if we look at this, we know the 11 right off the bat, but we need to know this height, which we can just take from here, which is, of course, 6 centimeters. So the area of this is 6 times 11, or 66 square centimeters. Remember, there's a front and a back, so we multiply that, and we get 132 square centimeters for both of those. And finally, the blue face, which really, if you look up here, it doesn't quite have anything, but we can take this 11 centimeters from down below and this 5 centimeters, and we can find the area using 5 times 11, which is, of course, 55 square centimeters. And there's a top and a bottom, so times 2, and you get 110 square centimeters. To get the total surface area, we just add all of these up, and you get 302 square centimeters. All right, now on to the cylinder, which is kind of tricky sometimes. So with the cylinder, we have the circle on top and the circle on the bottom. Let's do those first before we even worry about the rest of it. So the area of those 2 circles is pi times the radius squared. Well, the diameter is 12, so that means the radius is 6. So we got pi times 6 squared, which gives us approximately 113.1 square inches. But of course, there's one on top and there's one on the bottom, so we'll multiply that by 2. And we will get 226.2 square inches. And that's for the top and the bottom right there. Now, this rectangle that goes around, and if you don't believe that this is a rectangle, try peeling a label off a soup can, and you'll realize that it's just a rectangle that goes all the way around this. So, a rectangle area is very easy. It's just base times height. And we know the height. The height is 4. So it's base times 4. The tricky part is, what is that like length of the rectangle? And if you think again about peeling a label off a soup can, this is the full length right there. And you can find that by doing the circumference. So the circumference is pi times the diameter. So to figure out the circumference, we have to do pi times 12. And that gives us approximately 37.7. So now we can plug this back in up here, and our area is 37.7 times 4, which is about 150.8 square inches. So finally, the last step, of course, is to add this all back together. So the area is 226.2 plus 150.8, which gives us about 377 square inches.